Hi everyone. Right, do you remember when I went to Kettering and I bought these boxes? They're in 3 different sizes. I'm just waiting for some more laces to come in, the laces I do my kits with. And I'm going to be doing some more kits, and I'm going to be using, I think it'll be the medium one. So this is going to be in a kit. Now, it's not going to weigh that much, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the 2 smallest boxes, I think, and do little kits, I think. And this kit, I think the first one I'm going to use, I'm going to cut some chipboard out and use that to make a mini to go inside of that, and then that's going to go up on the Etsy with some trim. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do with that one. With this one, I think it'll be a little box of laces, and I will cram as many laces in there as I can get. I will tell you that these boxes cost, this was £3, I think it was £3.95, and that was £3.50. So I will charge you that for the box, but then I will charge you for the laces on top, of course, and the shipping. But if anybody's interested in one of these, wait till they go up on Etsy. I'm not doing them through YouTube. You'll have to keep watching for them, because it's too much messing about. It's so easy and so quick on Etsy. So that's what I'm going to do, and that's with those boxes there. Okay, so this will be a mini with a box that you can alter yourself with some trim, and then this one will just be a box of trims and laces. Okay, and that's what I'm going to do. I'll probably put some beads and some things in like that. So that's that, and I'm just going to shift these out of the way, because right now I'm actually going to start and do one of those. I'm going to decorate one. Basically just for any newbie, just to give them an idea. And let me just put this one away. Oh, sorry. And pop that back up on the shelf. Now, let me see. Because what I've got here, this is what Rebecca managed to get. I think it was Rebecca managed to get for me. Is a little frame, and I'm going to have this frame on this little box. Make sure I get that off. And I think what I'll do is I will just decorate the lid, to be honest, because that's just going to be plain. So I'm just going to decorate the lid how I want it, and that frame. And I think what we'll do is we can emboss that, but I think that's going to look fabulous. In fact, I'll have it that way, I think. So let's go on and do the lid. Now for that, I'm just going to use my paintbrush when I can get into these. I can never get into these paintbrushes lately. I know I have got such a terrible throat. I know when somebody said last week I sounded like I was out of breath. I was getting out of breath. It's like a chesty cold, but not a chesty cold, if you know what I mean. I was wheezing a lot last week, but there we go. That's what we're going to do. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint it, I think, with some gesso first. And this is just a sealant for the wood. That's all. It's just a sealant. And this is a white acrylic gesso. This is the one that Patsy sent me from... No, it isn't. Sorry, it's not. That was the crackle paste. This is the one I bought when I went to Scarborough with Judy. Julie, not Judy. Oh my God, I'm all mixed up. And basically, I'm just going to put a coat on the top. I'm not fussed about anywhere else. I definitely want this to stick. I don't like the smell of this stuff. It's awful, but good. you know, it does the job, and that's the main thing. So I'm just gonna I am going to crackle this one as well. I do like to crackle. And if you're watching Jim, that's the gentleman crafter, I hope you tried your crackle paste. I know he bought some. Right, so that's just a coat of that. It will soak into the wood a little bit, which is fine. That's what I want it to do, and I'm not that fussed over it. Just clean the brush off. Give that a wash. Oh, these lids are awful to go back on. I'm just going to pop that away. And then get out the acrylic paint, because when that's dry, which I'm going to dry now, we're going to paint it white. Then we're going to use some inks on this. I think that will do. Not fussing too much with it. Hope that's in shot. And like I say, we're just going to use the acrylic paint. Get a clean brush. And let's get going. I'm just going to give it a coat. I'm not too fussed that it covers completely. And I'm just doing the top of it for now to show you a technique. Well, not a technique. It is a technique. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's just another way of decorating a top of a box to make it a little bit different. You can paper it. You can do what you like with it. It doesn't matter. I'm going to put the heat gun on it, which will dry this pretty quick. Because I don't want it smooth or anything like that. Pop that to one side. Wash the brush again. And then we're going to give that a dry. So I'm going to knead that. So I'll just dry this off again. Doesn't take long. And I'm just going to get the Dreamweavers. This is the Dreamweaver Crackle embossing paste, and you get this from eBay. Just type in Dreamweavers stencils or Dreamweaver Crackle paste. So we're going to use that in a minute. First of all, what we're going to do what I'm going to use is the vintage photo, should I say? And I'm just going to dab that on. All over, like that. and that's it. Then I'm going to use the crackle paste and watch what happens. I'm just going to spread that. See, as it touches the ink, because it's wet, it's picked up the colour, but it's the effect afterwards that you get. Now, I could have used glue, PVA glue or something like that, and you'd have got that same effect for picking up the colour. And what we're going to do is give this chance to soak. So I hope you are actually seeing this. It's fabulous the way this stuff works, it really is. I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm not going to put that back in actually, because it's got colour on it. I'm just going to wash that. Leave that to soak a minute. Oh. And then let's get to work on this. Just take the heat gun and start to dry the crackle paste. You leave it naturally and it'll still, you know, crackle, but I like to do mine with the heat gun because then you can move on with your project. See if I can lower the camera a little bit more. Like that. And you get to see what's happening with it. See, it's starting to crack. And it really gives, look at this, and it really gives that aged look. Look at that, wow, that's fantastic. And that's because I put a really good layer of crackle medium on it. Let me just show you that. I mean, I could crackle it more, but I'm just showing you. There, look at that. Isn't that fabulous? And you could do that with any colour ink. I think that'll do. I'm quite happy with that. And yeah, that's brilliant. I hope you can see that. That's fabulous. But before I do anything else with that, I'm just going to take some of the colour. Now, I haven't got anything. I'll have to use my mat, I think. I'll just use my mat. And all I'm going to do, just for a minute or two, is put some of the ink on there. Take some water, take the brush, oops, and I'm just going to go around the edges like that, just so it all blends in together. Like that. And then what I'm going to do is soak that brush and just continue to dry the edges off a minute. It's even taking some of the crackle over slightly in places. Excuse me, that is completely fine. No problem with that at all. Now to seal that, because eventually it would flake, but to seal that, all we use is Mod Podge. And this may colour it a little bit more, but let's do it really quickly. So you just take your Mod Podge and go over it a couple of times. Like that. A fairly thick layer of Mod Podge on it. And we'll go around the edge as well, just to seal it off. Like that. That's fine. And then I'm just going to dry that. Just dry that off. Hope you can see that. And it will dry clear, and that's going to last a fairly long time. Oh, excuse me. Now it is bubbling in some places, and that's fine, I don't mind that at all. As it adds to the character. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that like that for a minute or two, and then while that's cooling down, let's put the heat gun away. I'm just going to get some embossing powder out, because what I'm going to do is, let's have a look. Well, that, not quite, I don't think. Although I want a darker one, yeah, I might just do that. And use some of that as well. So, like I say, I've got another brush. These are my embossing paint, cosmic shimmer paints. You know, and they last a long time. I've had these about 3 years in total. And all I'm doing is just adding a touch of water to them. And then just painting the frame with that. You just shift that out of the way, get some more water in there, and just paint up the frame. Just going to dry that off. Not too much. And then what I'm going to do is take my... now, let me just see, because I did have one that was slightly different. Let me see. Actually, I might use this one. This is the Tim Holtz Distress one. So I'm just going to put a whole lot of that. It's got a little bit of glitter in it as well for some reason. So all I'm going to do now is just, let me just see if that'll work. I might have dried it too much. No, that's fine. That's just going to start that off. Because it's still damp enough to do that. So this one is the Distress Powder, create that weather-worn look. I'm just going to leave that to cool a minute. Not too sure about that because I don't want it to look perfect at all. Let's get this back in the tub. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Not going to put any more on that because I like this, it's not covered completely. And what I'm going to do is that cooled down enough. It is. I'm just going to get my ink pad, my rather battered ink pad, look. And I'm just going to go over that. This is a perfect medium and it's from Ranger. Any will do. I just happen to have this one. I think somebody sent me this one, so of course I will use whatever I've got at hand. So I'm just taking that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some clear. Where's the clear? Let me just see. Here we go. So I've got some clear embossing ink. Embossing powder, sorry. And I'm just going to get that in there. Press it down enough. I might do 2 or 3 coats on this. Hope you can still see. I just like that weathered look. Oh yes. Now, you might not like this, but I do. It just looks like it's worn. Wow. I do like that. Just take it off, pop it back into here. Should we get enough on it? There we go. Oh, it's a nice thick coat on that. You could use the thick one, you know, the thick embossing powder, but I'm not. I'm using the fine one at the moment. And that's given me the look that I was looking for. And I'm quite thrilled with that. Now I need that, look at that, I'm not sure how close you can get that. Look how weathered it looks. Fabulous, thrilled with that. So while that's cooling down, I'm just going to pop this back in the tray. So I do want to get this finished. There we go. Put my cap back on so I don't lose it. Always make sure you do that, because if you're like me, you lose everything. Just put these back. Now, pop that back. Put these back. Don't need those. That's cool enough. And look what's going to happen. That is going to look fabulous on there. It just blends in perfectly, and I like that. Now I know it's a different pattern from here to here. I have fussed about that because there'll be some flowers going on it as well, and I just think that looks fab. I will have my box like that, and the lid just lifts off like that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the glossy accents to, needs to stand upside down. I don't know if I've got any in this one. Probably not. Oops, I have. I'm just going to use the glossy accents to pin this down. And I'm only going to do 1/2 of this, because this is a shiny surface now. It needs to I'm not going to put too much on it, I don't think. I just hope it'll stick. But because it's a shiny surface, you need a stronger glue for it to grip, to be honest. So that's my base section there. Try and get that in the middle like that. Now I am going to have to put something heavy on it, so I'm going to stand that on that end and get the other one I can reach and stand that on that end, and I have to leave that to dry. So I hope that's helpful. I will come back when we're putting the flowers on and decorate it. I will also come back and show you the base. But until then, thanks for watching. Take care. Speak soon. Bye bye for now.